Yeah, I mean, I just refreshed everything, airplane mode and all, and just started a new stream, and so far so good.
Walk in and let these guys talk. Or what do you want to do?
Let's go say hi.
Yeah, sure.
Give them some flyers. Here we go. Everything looks good.
The curve of the earth, 0.66 per foot. It's just, they got those numbers show up.
Here, this will get you started.
93 million
Can't
miles,
hurt you.
same thing. Those numbers were picked purposely in somewhere around the Renaissance time when they decided to change the paradigm forever. And then NASA came around in 1958 and gave us, they forever took over space, so that we can't do anything by ourselves. We can't make our own rockets and go up. NASA has to handle everything. So they put an ISS up in space. All the women have hairspray that keeps their hair straight up in the air like this, so that you can't see gravity effects. That they're trying to tell us there is no gravity in the ISS, and their hair is sticking up so they turn their head sideways. The hair just keeps still going like this. It's the biggest joke around.
Do you have any questions that you would ask a flat earther?
No.
No?
Have you ever talked to one, a flat earther other than that?
No.
It sounded like you didn't know your model, the globe model. That's
Well,
what
it's
it kind
not
of sounds
something
like.
I studied.
Right.
It's not...
But that's what we're kind of saying. If you look into it more, you know, kind of comes to you. I always like to say, like, one easy thing is like.
Hey, good morning, Red. Good morning, Block. Good morning, Sphere. Good morning, Tony. Hey, good morning,
All
Blood.
this technology, right?
Good to see you guys.
So over all these years and all this money and technology, you would think there would be one real photo, right? Wouldn't you expect at least one real photo?
Yeah.
There's not.
They actually claimed there was
yeah,
one in 1972. They claimed.
They claim, and
That was the photo.
everything is CGI or composite, you know.
The blue marble,
All right, I'll just keep an eye
all
on it.
4 blue marbles that they presented
Yep.
are all different sizes. So that North America, South America are different sizes. Yet the globe is the same
Okay.
size.
We're going to keep walking, guys.
All right.
So those are images that were put.
Real quick. Awesome, I'm telling you. I was like you at one point too. I was like, what is this? I'm like, what? What are they talking to me about? I consider myself a relatively smart person, you know? Like, kind of ignorant. I was like, yeah. And then slowly, I asked another question. I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense either.
I'm gonna move on.
Gradually,
That's my channel if you want to check it out.
and then like gradually, I was like, wow, oh, what? Oh, but it was good talking to you though.
Yes, this is the Flattoberfest. It looks like, is that a Mason Hall there? I'm sure Karen B put it in a Mason Hall last time, didn't she? Which is kind of weird.
I don't put something over my face like it's some religious symbol or some status symbol. I'm a human being. I was born without a mask on my face, and I'm not going to cuff because somebody told me to limit my oxygen that I need to breathe. You know those headaches that you get 8 hours after you wear a mask all day? That's called hypoxia.
Information for you right here.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, check it out.
They're retarding your oxygen level through the mask.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh, this is somebody's mask that I picked up off the ground. Do you know how many times I've done this? And I'm still here. Look at this, I'm still around. I've been doing this for the last 18 months. Haven't gotten sick yet.
Is that authentic?
Wake up,
It
please.
said. It's got to be with those socks. Look at those socks. Check out authentic socks. Look how high they are. With the thinnest, he's got Deontay Wilder legs. Deontay Wilder legs with socks pulled up to the knees. Absolutely hilarious. Is that authentic and said? I think it is.
I've been doing this for the last 18 months. Haven't gotten sick yet. Wake up, please. The vaccine will cause impotence, death.
Hey, good morning, Vertic. Good morning, Jax. Good to see you guys. Good morning, Summer. Evening to you. Have no fear. Welcome, dude.
I'm sure some of the
Good to see
people
you.
here know exactly about Tuskegee and how it was weaponized. Tuskegee, look it up. They test things on you all the time. My goodness.
Authentic. Stop shouting.
Are there any men to wake women
Why are
up?
you shouting?
Women properly? Any men here? Oh no, men worship women. My fault. I'm sorry. I thought there were men here. Please bow down and worship women.
Who are you talking to? There's nobody there.
I rubbed it all over my face. Right in front of me. What are we gonna do about it?
I don't see anybody. He's talking to himself. Look, listen. He's like one of those madmen. Oh, we used to have one in our town that just used to walk around the town talking to himself. Look, he's even having a go at people driving their vans past. Oh dear. Oh my. Any passerby, he starts having a pop at. He's one of those nutters. We've all met him. We've got one in every town. There's one in every town. Look, accosting passers-by. Look, shouting at them now. Oh no.
Is John still talking to that girl?
No.
Hey, good morning, Simon. Good
I
morning,
think
Kyle.
maybe he stayed to talk with
Good
those
to
other
see you
people.
guys.
I think maybe he stopped to talk with those other people who were sitting down.
Go on a walk past here.
Yeah.
Oh, right, he's got his own camera. Oh yeah, yeah, I got you, Block. Yeah, so he's talking
yeah,
into
sure.
that camera.
Is it possible for you to message them and ask them where
I could call him.
they're at? Oh, okay. Yeah, you can use your phone.
Yeah.
That won't mess up your hotspot?
No, I tested it out with Jack yesterday.
I'm from Minneapolis. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a great day outside.
Yeah, it really is, yeah. What are you about to do? You got some deliveries?
Yeah, well,
Hey, subscription. What's up? You got a car? Oh, did everyone? So did you pull it up? Yeah.
What? Is it because I've got it on 7's?
Well, we're at the Wolford. It's down. Okay. All right. I'll see you in a few minutes then.
You can check this out for me. Yeah. What do you figure about that?
Hello?
So,
Yeah. I'm getting a call from just back.
You know that there's medical and religious exemptions?
Okay. Yeah. We're just walking around the campus.
Wear a mask and it holds up report. You know that? You
All right.
have to
Bye.
do your job. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I totally get it. I'll be praying for you that you have a nice day.
So they packed up and left.
Here?
Everyone else,
Where'd they go?
they just left.
Where'd they go?
They left my banner.
Shut up.
Realm Walker packed it up. So what happened?
What do you mean?
College campus, Wolford College. We're walking down, like, so you took, okay, keep going, just follow the road, just keep following the road.
Down Church.
Did you walk? Okay, so you like construction by the water fountain? Okay, did you Wolford Campus Drive? So, yeah, we walked all the way down Church Street, like half a mile. I guess the front, yeah. Oh, really? Who are you with?
But you never know. They might scan it, find out.
Oh, okay. So what happened with Austin?
And what it does is it sends.
Oh, okay. He was still there when you left?
Yeah. Fuck that.
Okay, because I just talked to Realm Walker. He's coming over here. He had to grab my banner because everybody left. So, yeah. Okay. I guess I'll call Austin then. Tell him to come to the campus if he wants to.
Oh no.
Okay. Bye bye. We're by the baseball field.
No. Oh no. Are you serious? New P. Oh, let me stop this.
So,
Let me stop this. Rest in peace, Jibby. Jedi, sad to say, Jibby passed away. Oh, no. From a tooth infection, eventually poisoning his blood. No, man. Flat Earth legend, yes. And that we know is a good friend to many and hilariously enlightening. Yeah. Is that true, New P? Oh man, no one talks that sort of stuff if it ain't true. He didn't get anything. How did that happen, New P? Oh, fucking hell, man. Too many people passing away. Yeah, I'm really, actually, totally shocked, mate. Holy shit. HL. Yeah, Jibby, he wasn't even that. Oh man, that's crazy. Jibby was really funny. I got his humour. I thought he was really, really funny, Jibby. And it's a sad loss that is, mate. I'm telling you, if that's true. And I can't see New P just coming in here making some shit up like that. Holy shit. Fucking tooth infection. I'm speechless. New P, did he not go to the dentist and like try and get it sorted there or something, or? What the fuck, mate? Man, we've lost a good one today, mate, if that's true. Hey, good morning, Andrew. Holy shit, man. Oh, what's this new piece just put in here? For fuck's sake, man.
Good evening and welcome to Flat Earth United. Joining me shortly will be Jibby Jedi. If you're new to this channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon to be updated with all the latest interviews, panel shows and video logs from Nathan Oakley 1980. This stream will be a behind-the-scenes stream,
it's
so
Nathan,
possibly
but
a bit of a slow start with this one, but its main purpose
to be honest with you, I
is
don't
to
care.
serve as a bit of a rolling advert for the show, which I will shortly cut to photographs and start sharing with all and sundry. I may as well actually share the link with my... The button for links a second ago. Good to go. People in the chat. Should be a bit more chatty, really, as there's actually people watching.
Where's Jibby? There he is. Shit.
Hello, everybody. Yes, indeed.
No, Ute's in there, Watson's in there,
Alex
Ace McLeod's in there.
Jonestown Massacre. Good to have you here. Spiritual North, hello.
Oh, what? I'm just, I'm done, mate.
I think.
Hey,
Can
looks
you
like
hear
we've
me?
got Jibby
Can you
Jedi.
try-
How you doing? Oh, no. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. Time for photos. Momentarily, we will be joined by Jibby Jedi. There will be maybe 5 or 10 minutes of us messing around with sound and cameras. And in this case, links. Here we go! Hooray! How you doing?
All right. Is it working now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you and see you. Looking
All right.
glorious.
Good. I just had a little run-in with a virus, so I had to use another browser,
Looking
and
very
so
cool.
I had to go through the plugins, reinstalling, and all that fun stuff.
Oh, no way. That doesn't sound like much fun.
No. So I couldn't use my normal browser. Let me see if I can get the camera right here. Do I have enough light? Do you think?
Not
I
at
can
all.
probably turn on another light.
No, but it doesn't matter. I'm just glad you're on camera.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna turn on the light because this
Look
camera.
dark and mysterious.
We could do dark and mysterious. That's true. There we go. That's much more light. Maybe now it's too much.
No, definitely not too much. But better.
Are we on the backstage?
I'm not listening
broadcasting
to
a
this
face-to-face
for
So
Oakley's
we're
Oh,
going
here.
out to
I
a
really-
I'm listening
limited
to this
audience to
for
see
Jibby.
right
He's just passed
10 or
away,
15
mate.
people. Can't
It's-
quite see from here.
I think by the sounds
Tell
of
me
it.
on the... Why doesn't it tell me on OBS how many people are watching? That's a bit rubbish. I don't know how many are watching. Not very many, I wouldn't have thought. Half a dozen.
Flat Earth United Jibby. Okay, there we go. There's the watch page. And all right, excellent. We already got 23 thumbs down.
Awesome. Again, couldn't give a toss. Doesn't matter.
So the abscess or whatever he had must have got into his
I
bloodstream,
should probably
right?
give it
You
a
think?
thumbs down. So we're in backwards world here. No, I already thumbs it up.
IPS does that, doesn't he? I mean, some days I think that it does make a massive difference because if I get like 15 thumbs up and 1 thumb down, there's a good chance it'll go to the home pages. As long as it's being viewed, i.e. gathering reasonable momentum.
They say that if it's a 90% thumbs up ratio, it tends to get bumped up more for the search aspect of Google.
Yeah, exactly.
So
having
that's what
thumbs
they
down-
say, but yet I see them turned up all the time. Little plum in here. I think I can take my little Roby off.
Straight
I
out
don't know
of
how
Photoshop.
widespread this kind of shirt is, but this is a good one. It's subtle.
Subtle, very.
Yeah, it's subtle. I don't have to like mention anything about it. I can just wear it. And somebody says, "Oh, whoa, do you have a spare 2 hours? We can talk about it."
You haven't got a condensed version that you give them in 30 seconds. then?
Unbelievable, man. I've been watching
That
Jibby
would be
since
nice. Like ODB's,
Flat Earth
Flat
debates.
Earth in 5 minutes and such. That would
I
be
like
nice.
Flat Earth in 5 minutes. I share that video a huge amount.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
I
I recommend
A lot
it
of us
We
have been
have it on
watching
our
Jibby
Flat Earth
since
New
then.
England channel, I think.
Flat Earth New England. What's that?
Oh,
That's a little group. That's I basically joined it. We're this little local flat Earth group, but we encompass 6 states, the New England states, and we've been basically meeting in the heart of New England, which is like the Boston area, and we're slowly kind of doubling our numbers each time. And we just got the attention of the Boston Globe, who just talked to Mark Sargent. He just broadcasted, I think, last night, his conversation with the Boston Globe reporter. So we might actually get a positive flat Earth media write-up for the first time in maybe 100 years, where it's not a hit piece, hopefully. And how
Hopefully.
ironic, the Boston Globe doing a piece on flat Earth.
No, the irony is delicious. I love it. I mean,
Yeah.
can you imagine? You can think back 12 months ago, though, when people were saying, "You're not getting enough mainstream publicity," blah, blah, blah. Now you this. Awesome.
Yeah, is there a specific amount of mainstream publicity that we're supposed to be having? Just set amount?
No, to me, it seems to be consistently growing at a rate. It's accelerating like a snowball rolling down a hill, and that's how it should be. It's not. It's not.
Yeah, I caught
exponentially
him.
growing,
I
but
caught
by the
him
same
a
token,
little
it's
bit
still
on
getting better.
on
There's
his
still
last
more
one
people
that he
looking
was
into
on
the subject. There's new
on,
commenters that come
Kenny's
to my videos every single
UP.
day. So I don't know.
And he
I
was
just don't
talking
see
about
it's
it then,
definitely
about being on
growing. It might not be
antibiotics and stuff, and
whatever the JLB piss take that he uses, whatever he says. I'm sure he's trying to quote Dearth out of context when he says 0 to 1 million overnight or something like that.
no, he's just
You know what I'm
crazy.
talking about.
Hold on, guys.
Here we go. So this, I'm going to drag this across just to show the audience as we're on the behind the scenes bit. So, oh. Okay, it's just snapped it to the middle of my page. How do I get it back? What? God, I don't like Windows 10. It does all sorts of crazy things. All right, let's try that again. So you can probably see that. So Dawn Treader UK has said, "Another fucking liar." So yeah, and I get
me?
to choose whether or not to show
I'm
it.
not
or hide
another
it.
liar, probably one of the first.
It's like moderation without having to moderate. I don't have to do a thing, and that will just get hidden. I'm going to show it now in the feed, just so afterwards people can tell me what actually
I
happened.
saw that new feature, moderating, hide or show. It
Awesome.
seems to be new.
Don't need moderators. It's like, anybody who puts any crap in. Ideally, I don't know if you agree with this, but this is how I wanted moderation to be. But you can't control people. You can't make them not ban people. But the ideal was, if somebody says something like that, you delete their comment. Yeah, that's step one. If they do it again, you tell them off and say, "Can you stop doing that?" And if they continue to do it a third time, then they get timed out. And if they do it when they come back, they get timed out again. But I probably wouldn't ban them. I'd just repeatedly time them out so that they couldn't say anything. And I think automatically there, for that stream, if you get so many timeouts, they're just automatically hidden anyway. So, but it means that they can still come back to the next show, hopefully to behave themselves. But that's unlikely.
No, and if you ban them, here comes the legion of their sock accounts, which in a way kind of helps because each time they use a new sock account, there goes your view count, goes up a little bit. So Brings a little bit more attention. It seems to be, rapid fire hits now. You want to give 50 thumbs down. Well, that's 50 more views. If you think of it that way, I don't know. I try to look at the positive. I have fun with them sometimes. I really do. There are some who I think are almost necessary because sometimes we get a little lackadaisical with our proofs, and they're there to make sure we dot our I's and cross our T's. Like, well, did you know that that's not perfectly flat? Like I was having this little talk with one yesterday or the day before, who was correcting my flat level bridge that I was doing an experiment on, and said, well, according to this altitude, you're off by 6 inches here, 8 inches there. And I'm like, yeah, it's a little bit of a, it's like, okay, I didn't see it. That's a good kind of critiquing, but it that's what we need. We need that kind of thing. So some trolls are actually seriously trying to polish us up, which is a good thing. Some are just in it for the art of trolling.
Certain, and we know exactly which ones those are.
Yeah.
We've got about 2-3 minutes before I'm going to start the main show, so I'm going to check my wife's okay, make sure everything's off that shouldn't be on. If you need to nip to the bathroom or anything, now's your chance, and then we'll actually start the show proper, and I'll give you a proper introduction. So yeah, I'll be right back. I'll just put myself on mute.
All right, sounds good. Shout out to you guys in the chat. Let's see, I'll start at the bottom up. John Watson, Rebel, Ace McLeod, Dawn, Flat Earth. Ooh, I thought that was Flat Earth After Party. That's another one. Dan, Subgenius, Genius, Subgenius, Zoe. Let's see. Wow, there's so many socks in here. Gem Panda. Twitwit. Frequencies Illuminated. I've been seeing you a lot lately. Monique, how are you? Let's see. Okay, let's just make them a little shout outs to the chat.
Right. Should ask you this. I don't care that we're live. I'm going to ask you anyway. Is there anything you particularly don't want me to talk about or ask? I don't know. You can send it me on G+ if that's the case, and just say no here.
Oh, man, I really can't think of anything I particularly care for censorship about. Like everything on the table, anything and everything.
Fair enough. Okay. If you can pop yourself on mute for about 30 seconds, I'm going to introduce you on the main show. But before I do that, I'm going to just tweet it and stick it on Facebook. Live. Oh. Live. Now. And I'll tweet it as well. Tweet. And I'll G+ it as well, why not? Live. Now. Done. Right, I'm going to start. We'll go live in about 10 seconds. Good evening and welcome to Flat Earth United with me, Nathan Oakley, and joining me this evening is Jibby Jedi. How you doing, Jibby?
Very well, very well. How are you doing, Nathan?
I'm not too bad at all. If you're new to this channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you can get updated with the latest videos and interviews. That being said, how do you find yourself, Jibby, in the arena of Flat Earth?
A very busy soldier. getting more busy as time goes by, but that's a good thing because that's what we want, I think, is to get busy. Well, for me, in my aspect, I want to get this out there as quick as possible. And it was slow going at first, but we're we're really picking up momentum now, and I like being very busy with this, like constructive busy, and I appreciate like the chance to be a part of it. I think this is a very important time of our lives, very important truth, very important revelation, and I'm honored. I feel very honored to be a part of it in any way I can be.
Well, how did you find out the Earth is flat?
This weird guy named Mark Sargent. I was researching into Saturn at the time. This was probably late 2014, kind of following Quasi-Luminous. And he was big into the Saturn research then, and it was a little group of us researchers on the forums hitting Saturn pretty hard. So my YouTube was on autoplay. So I'm writing down some notes here and drawing some diagrams of the hexagon pole of Saturn and whatnot. And then I hear, hi, this is a series of clues about the flat Earth. And I just hear Mark's intro, and I slowly just picked my head up. What? Flat Earth? Like, and I just left it, and I listened to the whole thing. You know, that look on somebody's face when you're talking to people. You'll have the smiles, the laughs, the jokes, and then that one guy who's just taking it in. He's just quiet. He's listening. Eye contact. That was me. I was taking it all in. After the first clue, I had to click on another one, and then I clicked on another one, and jaw dropped. Just it's never occurred to me. I was big into astronomy. I studied astronomy all the time for fun. So that was something that never even occurred. I thought flat Earth was an insult. Like, you know, I didn't think it was real. So that was it. It sent me on my way, Mr. Mark Sargent.
Interesting way of putting it. You say flat Earth is an insult because now, what for you, probably 2.5 years into this, you know exactly why that's so very, very true. You know, flat Earth is an insult, and for very good reason.
Yeah, and I didn't even know there were real people who, I thought it was just a religious cult, Flat Earth Society group, very secular thing. That's all I thought it was, the existence of it. I didn't even know there were real people. Like, come on, man. Like, for real? But there are so many anomalies in astronomy that you come across when you're dabbling in astronomy that NASA never gives you a good answer for. And how do you know, like, who to turn to after that? So we turn to the amateur astronomer community, and we all talk amongst each other, and there's the fanboys, and there's the people who color outside the lines. So who do you follow? And my kitty cat. And I always call it outside the lines. I said, well, this doesn't make sense. Why does the planet look a little oblong here? You know, it looked very strange. Or just, why can't I get a sharp resolution on stars? Things like that didn't make sense. But as soon as I heard dome, things started to click. Like, you know what? Something that kind of makes sense to explain a lot of the anomalies I see up there. And I went from there. And my first videos were 2015, which I had pulled down because they were getting a little too much attention too fast. And back then, say June 2015, it was only a handful of people talking flat Earth on YouTube. And it was a barrage of the hate army coming at you. And if you even answered one positive thing on a flat Earth video, you were responding to that for a year because you said something positive. So everybody was attacking the positive comments. And to be the author of the video, you were just taking heat constantly. And I got a little nervous, and I backed off a little bit and pulled my videos down, but I was duplicating things. I had a clear pane of glass with a blue sky, take a flashlight, and now I was mimicking the moon, of what we see of it. Like, here's the moon. Like, you couldn't really tell it was the moon or my flashlight because it was the blue sky background and it was a clear glass. Then I'd take my finger and I would kind of occult the light, and I was causing the moon phases exactly the way we see them. And then I would take my moonlight, so a little moon flashlight, at night, and I would go up and down my barn on the clapboard. Now I'm duplicating the lunar wave. And little things like that I was just duplicating, showing you how it could be done with glass, with a reflection of the moon off glass. And it's got like 1,500 views in a few days. And I was like, oh, now it's getting too hot in here. And I backed off a little, and then I started to just do things in the background. So I wasn't like a. So
Well,
what do
you
they call
say
it?
in the background, but I
Flat
mean,
Earth
I've seen so
personality.
much
I
stuff
didn't
from you
want
that
to.
it's just you're not in the background. You know, I see you debating people like Charles, and that's not in the background.
Oh well, that was 2015. I wanted to spend 2015 in the background because I didn't want. I wanted to see the lay of the land before I stepped out, kind of in the open with my face out there, because it was just my voice out there mostly, not my face. I didn't know if I was ready for that kind of commitment yet, and ready for that kind of battle that comes to you once you're now public, like with it. Like, yes, I admit I'm a flat earther. Yes, I know it's flat. I don't believe it's flat. That's what I say now. I said, they say, do you believe the Earth's flat? I said, absolutely not. I know it is. So I'm much more confident. But it took me 7 months of fighting that title. As soon as I said, have you guys seen Flat Earth Clues? Have you seen Matt Powerland? Have you seen these things at Eric Dubay? And they'd say, well, you're Flat Earth Theory and you are Flat Earth. And I'm like, whoa. I'm just researching Flat Earth. Don't call me that. I was taking offense to it. I'm just researching this. I'm not a flat earther. And I fought that for 7 months. But in 7 months of intensive research, a buddy of mine who was an attorney and going through this just like I was, he finally just accepted the title. He's like, you know what? After everything I've looked at, I'm a flat earther. And he inspired me to take that same step where I was, you know what? I think I'm confident enough to nail that down now, plant the flag. I am a flat earther, and I'm not going back. I'm not going over the fence, not fence jumping. It took me 7 months to make that conclusion of neutral information. That's it. I'm a flat earther. And I've been there ever since, and never wavered, never even twitched back to the ball because I haven't seen anything. There's so much missing. That's just not going to show up. We're not going to see 1 million, 2 million, 5 million videos and photos of curvature and all these things just show up out of nowhere. They're not there. They're not going to be there. That's it.
Yeah,
I mean,
even
my opinion.
Even the trolls, they're discussing the really finite details of obscurity when it comes to curvature, and most of it is actually based in the sky. They're talking about star trails. I mean, you're a fan of looking up in the night sky with a telescope. Me too. You know, it's not a shock. Most of the things that are presented to flat earthers in general are new because they're not looking up in the sky. But for me, I was. I mean, I don't know about your personal experience with the plane itself. Are you reasonably well travelled? Have you got around and about on the flat plane?
I have in my country, and I've been to Canada, but I've flown back and forth across the United States, back, forth, up, down. I've seen the country from the air several times. Excuse me. So I have a basic gist of what I was seeing out the window. I loved the window seat when I was on a plane. It's just, if I can get a window seat, I will. Buy my tickets early because I just stared out the window, my headphones on the whole time, just fascinated. Wasn't looking for curvature. Never occurred to me back then, pre-flat Earth. But I go back now and I remember there was not a lick of curvature out there. It's just same thing that we see on all the videos. It's amazing. Just until it's brought to your attention, you're just not looking for it.
Yeah, what's the B.O.B. the rapper when he had that picture? I forget where it was, but he had two cities behind him, and he was saying, well, there's supposed to be XYZ amount of curve between these two cities. Well, where is it? And they had, I think it was even Neil deGrasse Tyson misrepresenting the argument and, you know, just playing off curve maths rather than addressing the fact that there was no curvature between these two cities. But yeah, as you say, when you're looking out a plane window, what you see beneath you is a flat plane. There's no two ways about that. And it's conceded on both sides. You know, there won't be an intellectually honest globehead out there that would say, oh yeah, you go up 30,000 feet, of course you can see curvature. Nah, you can't. You just can't get high enough on the globe. So therefore, it's conceded on both sides. What you see from an airplane window is a flat plane. Their argument or their workaround would be that you're just too small. You're like a bacteria on a basketball. You're never going to see any curvature. You're physically too small. But what we would say is, no, it looks flat because it is flat, and you've got maths that dictate how curvy it should be based on your 24,000 circumference equator. Unfortunately, we ain't seeing it. What we see is flatness.
that's what we see, and they'll say, well, then you need to do this, that, and the other. And I've listened to everything they've said. I've listened to as many debunkers as I could because I wanted somebody intelligent. I didn't want to talk to a student. I wanted to talk to the teacher. With our group, Flat Earth New England, and there's also like Flat Earth Framingham, which is basically NASALies.org group, Brother Ernest and such, who has the best signs, the best flat Earth signage I've ever seen. Very well made, and he's been building this set of signs for a while. It's a stack of them. Like, you carry them in and everything, and oh, it's such good fun. And he's passionate, and all of the Flat Earth New England people are passionate. And so I was discussing with him when he joined Flat Earth New England. I said, we want to start hitting Harvard and MIT. He's like, oh, I've been hitting those regularly. I said, really? I was like, we need to do it as a group. He's like, yeah, we could. He's like, I stand out here this week and do it weekly. And sure enough, he does. And I joined him last weekend, I think it was. Yeah, last weekend I joined him. And we had a great time. It was some of us from Flat Earth New England and his Flat Earth Framingham group. And we hit Harvard Square in a spot in front of a 24-hour CVS that he kind of has locked down. He's figured out the legal way to do it, to set up signs where it's legal.
What do you mean by hitting it, though? You mean you literally go to the square with signage?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And he does it in a way.
What sort of
where
reactions you're getting
CVS
from MIT students? I mean,
well, even better, we had a group of Oxford students come walk by the other day. Like, that's not something you see every day there. Oxford. So, unless we'll have to travel overseas to talk to the Oxford kids, they came to us. So everybody was engaged with other people. And then here come this group of Oxford kids, young bucks or whatever. And I go, oh, I'm not missing this opportunity. So I was listening to them. They were making some creation jokes and comments and things like that. So I wasn't letting them walk away. So I picked a fight with them basically. Oh yeah, you think you're a monkey? You live on a spinning ball, and that started like a 1 hour engagement back and forth with all of us. And it was fantastic. I had the video up on my channel, and it was great. It was going viral on Brother Ernest. He broadcasts live on Facebook when he does it, and he usually does these sometimes both Friday and Saturday at Harvard Square or at MIT. He'll broadcast it live on his Facebook, other Facebook Flat Earth groups, then simulcast his live broadcast. We went viral last time, probably 10,000 views in the first night. And it was that kind of debate with left brain versus right brain, and for me, I don't have, a doctorate or anything. I don't have a double bachelor's. Like, I shouldn't be able to go face to face with these people according to everything we've been told. These people, I shouldn't be any match for these people, but we hold our own. We hold our own with Harvard, MIT. We hold our own with all of them. And, they'll throw some studies at us, but that really doesn't make us waver. We stick to our guns. You'll have to excuse me for a second.
what is that beeping? What's going on? Gonna get all sorts of conspiratard comments now because of that.
Yeah. I don't know.
You've summed it up nicely, though. It's exactly that. It's left brain versus right brain. It's what people have been told versus your intuition and instinct and observations. And when reality's on your side, you're gonna fare well. It doesn't matter how educated you are. Reality's on our side, unfortunately, for these educated people.
That's just it. And is it a matter of intelligence, like weighing an IQ versus an IQ, and what is an IQ really? But other than maybe an ability to memorize, which does that make you intelligent? Are you the best tape recorder we have? So you will be our leader because you memorize the best. Like, is that all it really is? It's memorizing and understanding it, I suppose, but memorization seems to be the thing that's rewarded. Memorization along with the belief in what you're memorizing. So you need to take it in, then you need to believe it, take it in your heart, basically. Like what we're telling you about the Helio model is true. Take it into your heart. Know it is true. Yes, okay, here's your diploma, here's your reward. If you question it, which I did, I went to Jesuit Catholic school, kind of like Jaron. 12 years, and I spent a lot of time in the hallway in the principal's office because I wasn't. I need things need to make sense to me, like with a lot of us, and you keep asking until it does. And sometimes the teachers get frustrated because sometimes you're a little smarter than your teacher as far as what real smarts is. The ability to think for yourself, the ability to think clearly, think critically, and not just be a parrot, not just be a drone. And the Jesuit school teachers really don't take kindly to that. They're like, it is because this is the way it is. That's it. Like, and that's usually they don't have anything beyond that. But you get 100 more questions, get out. Just get out. So it's almost like they accuse you of being a troll in class when you're not trolling. You want to know how gravity works. How does a push pull work? Like, all the years of astronomy I did, I still didn't understand gravity. Because let's say, wow, it's this 3 chalkboards of math behind me. Then you'll know gravity. So basically, I've taken your word for it. Okay, you just kind of throw it away. Okay, yeah, that's. And you look behind you, you have a big pile of unanswered questions that need to be gotten to. Flat Earth fills in all those gaps. Like it was just completing all of the things as soon as I came across it. Now that makes sense. Now that makes sense. Now that makes sense. It's epiphanies that we've all enjoyed in Flat Earth, I think.
Yeah, it was a mad epiphany for me. I mean, for me, it was Math Powerland. And I don't know if I'm pleased or not that it wasn't Mark Sargent's clues first, because I know it's so well arranged. You know, for a layman into Flat Earth, you can really kind of step your way forward through the cognitive deprogramming almost. Whereas with math, it wasn't like that. He was just barking craziness. You know, I say craziness in brackets because it's not really craziness. I've reviewed some of the stuff that he said again now that I'm further along, and you go, wow, there's so much stuff in there that I just didn't understand at the time, but now I do. And when Matt's saying it, it's even more difficult to digest. But literally, when he said flat Earth without saying it, I think you said this at the beginning of the show, but not in ridicule, you know, just hearing it not being torn a new one or being used to pour scorn on somebody as an idiot. When I heard it in those terms, I literally went and woke my wife up. I shook her out of bed and I was like, the Earth's flat. It's amazing. You know, delighted because, as you say, I had an epiphany. You know, it's like a eureka moment. You have flashes of all these things we now talk about on these shows, like sitting in the plane, you know, looking out at the plane, swinging a bucket when I was about 7 years old and thinking, I've just had an explanation of how water sticks to the earth, and this doesn't make any sense. You know, and then you put it on the back burner and forget about it till, you know, 20 or 30 years later when you hear someone like Matt Powerland mention it in a positive context. It's definitely an epiphany. But do you feel better or worse? You've mentioned about the trolls being descending on your older videos. Is it a positive experience now, or do you still feel similar and cautious about your road forward?
Well, like sometimes a positive experience can hurt and be rough along the way. Like let's say you're really dirty and you need to be clean, so somebody hits you with a hose to clean you. It's not a very pleasant experience, but it is a positive experience because now you're cleaning up. So for me, it's like I'm getting shit thrown at me by the trolls, but it was a positive experience. It's not fun to go through, but it sharpened me, made me stronger, made me more aware on my game with the facts, and it only did good. The way I look at it is you're either going to prove me wrong and then I will correct that mistake, or that's basically it. Like I'm not going to get anything by being right. If you know, I'm going to stay the same. So it's only a win-win the way I look at it. So if you want to come at me, then okay, prove me wrong, please. Like by all means, please. And then I'll find a mistake. Okay, now my argument is that much better. So you've just bettered me. So I thank them for that when they do it. And it's happened. We don't start off perfectly polished. Along the way, we sharpen our facts. We sharpen our maths, maybe you could say, or science of it. I've sharpened. I'm not afraid to take on MIT, Harvard, Oxford. I prefer it. I want to get to those teachers. I would like to set up maybe at MIT or Harvard, Flat Earth New England. We're going to do. We're doing a park right next to Harvard. We're going to be within eye shot of Harvard. The 23rd, I want to say, that's the big day of the planetary lineup and everything that we're going to have on September 23rd. We are having a meetup that day. So we'll see how that goes as far as the energy, the celestial activity, the astrology of it all. But I want to come across some of these teachers. And we were at Revere Beach a couple weeks ago, about a month ago. And we came across a gentleman with a PhD in physics from MIT. And he spent a good 45 minutes with us. And we had our P900s out. We were showing him this lighthouse 7.1 miles away, 32.6 feet, curvature drop, the whole thing. And he said, well, you know, if your numbers are right here, you guys have something. Like very neutral, unbiased, no confirmation bias. He's just telling us straight up, facts plus facts equals facts. Then yes, you have something if all of these facts are as you say they are, as they're true. Like our math, if our math is true, we have something. We're not on that ball of that math. And he was intrigued, and he walked away with Brother Ernest got his information, and we gave him some paperwork to look over, and hopefully Brother Ernest is still in touch with him. But we need that. We need more accredited people, the teachers, you know, who teach this. That's my target. I want to go to have dialogue with them, serious dialogue. And when I do, it's a very enjoyable experience because they're teaching me things that I still didn't know. And oh, that's interesting. Okay. Well, what about this? Now we show them things that they didn't know. I had one debate with a scientist. We couldn't even get the numbers of the thermosphere right as far as temperature. And one aspect is they tell us the temperature of the thermosphere, like the PhD guy from MIT made me aware of something I didn't even think of. I said, you know, the thermosphere is 2,000 degrees, you know, and he said, stationary or movement. And I was like, you know what? I never thought about that because it's even worse with movement because now you have the friction aspect. This is still within atmosphere. So the ISS, 17,000 miles an hour, friction now. So that 2,000 degrees, do they state if that's stationary or in movement? Because I don't remember them stating either way. But stationary is bad. Movement's even worse through 2,000 degrees. So that thing would be literally like and this man it would look like a streak in the sky. He says, this is what those fireballs are. It's burning up through the atmosphere. It's the friction creating that heat. This ISS would be doing the same thing. It would be a fireball in the sky. Traveling through 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, 17,500 miles an hour, it would be a fireball. Because it's still well within the atmosphere because you still have half the other thermosphere to go through plus the exosphere. So it's still like hundreds of miles of atmosphere, technically, according to them. That stuff I find very fascinating talking to, and I learned something new.
Wouldn't your Charles Flat Earth math just say that at that layer it's very, very it's so rarefied that the friction is negated because there's literally less stuff to be rubbing against.
But even a little bit of 2,000 degrees is still 2,000 degrees. And
no, I already know the comeback, but it's just I'm just putting it across for the audience so that
you know exactly what he's going to say. And when the Boston Globe contacted us and we were talking to them, they asked if we had any affiliates who were on the other side of the fence. The only one I could think of that I trust enough to be, you know, give a pretty not disparaging, not patronizing towards us kind of report was Charles, basically. So Charles did get in touch with them and they spoke, and Charles and I are friends, you know, despite our opposing views, as you know, it doesn't take away from my respect for him and what he does, and he believes in what he does, and I respect that. And I like the way he carries himself with us. And you know, I'll give him the pass for the little patronizing tone he has sometimes. Passive aggressive. I give him a pass because he does so well on the other parts.
Also, he doesn't. He's a good person to have around to show the flip side of what we get accused of, which is trolling. So there's many a flat earth troll out there, and they can be quite vicious. And when you've got someone like Charles who doesn't rise to it, yeah, you've already... I don't need to repeat what you've just said that was a bit negative about Charles. We all know Charles, or some of us know Charles. But he won't, he doesn't immediately go to ad hominem attacks. He'll not swear. He's generally quite civil. So it's nice to see an example of the flat earthers actually being as bad as some of the globe head trolls, which admittedly are much greater in numbers, but there are quite a few flat earthers out there that are pretty disgusting in their treatment of Charles. It makes me cringe. I don't know how you feel about it.
Yeah, I hosted a hangout in summer of 2016 where I had a full panel of flat earthers, and I invited Charles in to to protest by them. Why are you giving this guy time of day? I said, why not? I mean, how many other accredited, I guess you could say, people are dabbling around? We're mostly dealing with kids. In my perception, we're dealing with a lot of troll kids. I wanted to deal with some adults here who can carry themselves. And like you said, Charles doesn't swear. He doesn't conduct himself in a foolish manner. He's pretty professional and intellectual, and I enjoyed that. So I had him on a panel, and they were blasting him hard. F you, Charles, F you. And well, I'm like, no, come on, guys.
Maybe we can ask. We've got some agreement. I wasn't going to read. I don't normally go to the chat while I've got a guest, but I will in this instance. So I got Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole says, I don't give Charles a pass. And then YouTube agreeing, saying, Dearth, same here. So maybe the chat will tell us specifically why they don't give Charles or Flat Earth Math a pass. We shall see. Hopefully we'll get some scrolling answers coming by.
Because, we don't have a lot to pick from. That we can have dialogue with who conduct themselves well. We don't. We really don't. And Charles is one of the best out there that we have to throw back and forth with. And funny is that he's helping me debunk NASA and, well, the space agencies. Him and I, we will exchange emails every now and then. And he sent me one a few weeks back from the European Space Agency. And it was something they published where they did side-by-side rockets, Soyuz rockets, I guess. And it was two different launches. And they had animated GIFs side by side. And so that way when the propellant ejects and they tumble away, because I'm always going back and forth with Charles about the fakery. He's like, look, Jibby, look at the way they tumble away uniformly. That's precision engineering. He likes to throw that at me. So I said, all right, give me a little bit here. And then a few days later, I caught it. The cloud patterns, they matched. What they did is they took one of them and they rotated it 90 degrees. So when I rotated it 90 degrees, so the rocket was going horizontally while the other one was going vertically, now the cloud patterns matched. 2 different days, 2 different missions, 2 different launches, same cloud patterns. But you didn't notice it because one of them was tilted. No, I'm always looking for these things. This is my expertise.
Did you say that was NASA or was that SpaceX?
I fixed it for him and I emailed it to him and I said, here you go, Charles. And then he points to one of the clouds and says, no, that's a mountain, Jibby. Have you seen Gem Panda's stuff? And then he just changed subject because I think he saw what I did there. And he said, keep them coming, Charles. Let's take them down together.
So he didn't.
Yeah, so we'll watch the rest of that next time, guys. It's 11 now. Yeah, rest in peace, Jibby. That's really sad. I've been watching Jibby since Flat Earth Debates. That's a damn long time. Hey Amanda, prepping and all ready for mole treatment. Catch up with you later. Okay Amanda, take care. Have a good day. That's quite a big job, isn't it? Jibby was hilarious, absolutely hilarious. When he had a bit of moonshine in him, never heard anything like it since. It's a real shame. Yeah, that's one person I would have liked to have a smoke with is Jibby. Sit down and have a couple of big bifters and just talk shit, right? And Kyle got to do that. Kyle actually got to do that, which is cool. Hey Tomo, have you heard about Jibby? He died, mate. He's passed away. Yep. Hey, good morning, Coffee. Welcome. I think he had an abscess. I think he had an abscess and it poisoned. The infection must have got into the blood and poisoned his blood. I think something like that happened. Nah, come on, Tyler, be fair, mate. Got to put all shit like that aside, mate. Don't hold. Why are you holding on to stuff like that?
One question I am often asked is how earthquakes and volcanoes work on a flat Earth. The short answer is, however earthquakes and volcanoes work on an Earth with curvature, they work exactly the same on an Earth without curvature. No special explanation for these phenomena are necessary, because the theories that exist for their occurrences are irrelevant to the shape of the Earth. Having said that, the prevailing theory for the cause of earthquakes actually makes more sense on a planar Earth than a spherical one. Plate tectonics theory holds that large, adjacent grinding plates of land build up friction until one fault plane slips under the other, causing an earthquake. This could theoretically happen regardless of the shape of the Earth, but even the mainstream images and terminology employed, from plate tectonics to fault planes, all suggest the geology of a level plane, and not a spherical ball. As for volcanoes, the globe model purports that the lava which erupts and is ejected from volcanoes comes from deep inside the magical magma Tootsie Roll center of their Tootsie Pop Earth. In reality, however, the longest and deepest drilling operation in history, the Russian Kola Superdeep, after 20 years and busting several drills, managed to bore only 8 miles down. So the entire ball Earth model taught in schools, showing a crust, outer mantle, outer core, and inner core layers, where this molten magma supposedly rests, are all purely speculation, as we have never actually even penetrated through beyond the crust. What we do know is that Earth's matter gets denser and more pressurized, therefore more heated, the further down you go. At its greatest depth of just under 8 miles, the Kola Superdeep borehole registered a blazing temperature of 356 degrees Fahrenheit. As you drill downwards, the temperature constantly increases approximately 1 degree Fahrenheit per 50 feet, so that after only 1.5 miles down, it is already the temperature of boiling water, and by the time you reached 15 miles down, all rocks would be melted down and molten. Professor Silliman, in the American Journal of Science, wrote that, in boring the artesian wells in Paris, the temperature increased at the rate of 1 degree for every 50 feet downwards, and reasoning from causes known to exist, the whole of the interior part of the Earth, or at least a great part of it, is an ocean of melted rock, agitated by violent winds. The uppermost strata of the soil share in all the variations of temperature which depend upon the seasons, and this influence is exerted to a depth which, although it varies with the latitude, is never very great. Beyond this point, the temperature rises in proportion as we descend to greater depths, and it has been shown by numerous and often repeated experiments that the increase of temperature is on an average 1 degree Fahrenheit for about every 54.5 feet. Hence it results that, at a depth of about 12 miles from the surface, we shall be on the verge of an incandescent mass. In other words, molten magma does not originate several thousand miles below us in the core of a globe, but rather is a layer of our level Earth starting just 12 to 15 miles down. This ever-boiling, slowly moving molten mass of matter and toxic gases finds and creates areas of least resistance, which ultimately result in both earthquakes and volcanoes. The movement and stress causes shearing, folds, and fault planes, which, when violently resettling into place, we call earthquakes, and the nearby pressure release valves that spew out excess magma and noxious gases, we call volcanoes. This is why earthquakes and volcanoes are often active simultaneously, and why the vast majority of the world's volcanoes exist along major earthquake fault lines. In fact, the Pacific Ring of Fire alone is host to 90% of the world's recorded earthquakes and 75% of the world's active volcanoes. Professor Silliman continues, "It is a fact well ascertained by scientific researches that the whole inside of the Earth is one mass of fire, and what we call terra firma nothing more than a crust or rind by which that mass of fire is enclosed. It is certain that by the action of this fire the earth's crust is perforated in many places with large conduits, which act as chimneys to the internal furnace. Of these chimneys, as many as 700 have been actually counted, and out of these 300 are at this time in active operation, emitting not only smoke and vapor, but at intervals masses of burning liquefied matter. Every volcano is a safety valve, ready to relieve the pressure from within when that pressure rises to a certain degree of intensity, or permanently serving for the escape of conflagration which, if not so provided with escape, might rend the habitable crust to pieces. And Dr. Samuel Robotham wrote, "The volatile products of this internal fire being forcibly eliminated and occasionally accumulating and exploding, have broken up the stratified formations and produced the irregular, confused condition which we now observe. Hence have arisen earthquakes, volcanoes, and other convulsions of nature. The products of volcanic action enable us to ascertain the character of the internal fire, and what are the elements concerned in the combustion. Some of these products are of a poisonous character, and being thrown out in immense volumes from craters in various parts of the earth, are dispersed by the winds and diffused through the atmosphere, often in such proportions as to act as deadly poison on both animal and vegetable life. Thus it is certain from the phenomena connected with earthquakes, submarine and inland volcanoes, which exist in every part of the earth, from the frozen to the tropical regions, hot and boiling springs, fountains of mud and steam, lakes of burning sulfur and other substances, jets and blasts of combustible destructive gases, the choke and fire damps of our coal mines, that at only a few miles below the surface of the earth there exists an extensive region of combustion, a vast fiery gulf extending in all directions for thousands of miles, and the intensity and power of the chemical and electric action going on in this almost boundless subterranean furnace are utterly indescribable, and cannot be compared with anything within the range of human experience."
Get the jab, you fuck off! Get the jab, you cunt. I do, I have the jab.
What did you just call her? And what did the man call you there sitting down?
He called me a cunt.
Get the jab, you cunt.
What did you just call her?
Mate, we're trying to enjoy a lovely meal.
What'd you call her?
Fully vaccinated.
Why'd you call her?
Look at you fucking right-wing cunts!
I was walk past and I thought I'd take some shots, and some man was telling you off about something.
Don't touch me, mate. That's deep. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Fuck out of here!
And then he ran up to me and was like, looked me in the eyes, and
You fucking happy? This is what you say that's a good thing to do? Look at you!
You're gonna pick on the girl. You're gonna pick on her.
Pick whatever I want, you fucking piece of shit!
You alright?
yeah, it's not a nice feeling.
Calm down, cause he just wanna learn something, so I teach him something. I am the one that teach. Call me 10 wins and 20.
Oxygen.
How did they invent electricity?
They stole it from Tesla.
No, how was electricity invented? Who invented it?
Well, it can't be invented. It can be harnessed from really high up in the sky.
How did they do it, though? Egypt didn't have it, right? What's
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. They did. They had it.
What did you learn in school, fam? Who
So this is a hood crackhead protecting his hood from authentic intent that's doing like activism, and they've just sort of clashed right now. It's quite funny what happens.
Just take a breath.
Nikola Tesla. How? By flying a kite with a key?
No, that's Benjamin Franklin.
Right, yeah. That's
hey, Earth is flat.
Fuck you mean?
Yeah.
That's the story they tell us. That's how electricity was
Benjamin
found.
Franklin did.
Right?
Yeah, Benjamin Franklin didn't do that.
Benjamin Franklin didn't do anything.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Were you there? He's a Freemason. Do you know what Freemasonry is?
Bro, this is the story they tell us.
Yeah, but it's a lie.
He's on a $100 bill, right?
That doesn't mean that it's true.
He signed the Constitution, right?
Did he? Were you there?
Yeah, I mean, he's on the shit. He's
Were
like
you
Kim
there?
Jong-un, fam.
Were you there?
Yeah.
If you believe what government told you, that's no different than going to a church and believing the Bible. It's a religion. Unless you can tangibly do it.
Bro?
Yeah,
I'm about to knock you the fuck out.
Benjamin Franklin was a liar.
Yeah.
I'll knock you the fuck out. Don't.
I'm just saying.
Don't. Hey, bro.
No.
Bro, just relax, man.
All right, sorry. I'm 34 years old.
Bro, just relax,
Shut
man.
the fuck up. Don't call me bro. You ain't my brother, fam. Slap that shit out your face, bitch. 10-4, take that hat off.
Come on, man. No, man.
Give me the hat.
Come on, man.
Give me the hat.
Come on, man.
Go. Get the fuck out this block. Fans get money. Go.
Yeah, we're supporting him, dude. We gave him money, dude.
Go, bitch.
We gave him money, bro.
Give me some money,
Bro.
bitch. Give me some money, nigga.
Bro, we don't have any money, man.
You don't?
Bro.
Hey,
bro.
Bitch.
Dude, back up. Back up. We back up.
Go. Get the fuck out there.
I don't gotta do anything, man.
You gotta go right now.
I don't gotta do shit, man.
You don't?
Bro. Want to go to jail tonight? Is that what you want to do? Yeah, you got demons in you, man. Yeah, you got demons in you, bro. Fuck out of here.
Go. Go.
Bro, this ain't your block, man.
I don't care. Get the fuck out of here. Bitch.
I hope somebody steals your bike. You're a bike thief. That's what you are. Fucking cowards. Tell me what to do. Hey, do you know the Earth is flat? What? Earth is flat, not a ball. Bro,
I said go.
I don't gotta do anything, man. This ain't your block.
I said go.
I don't have to do anything, bro.
Right now.
I don't have to go anywhere.
Quit yelling, you little pussy ass bitch.
I'm gonna yell at you. You need Jesus Christ. That's who you need. You're a demon. You're a demon. And you need Jesus Christ. You're a demon, bro. Bro, get away from me, man. You need Jesus Christ.
You only have to hit him
You're
once.
a demon. Get away from me, bro. Do you want to go to jail tonight? Is that what you want to do? You want to go to jail? Is that what you want to do? You honestly want to go to jail? You don't know what happened. You don't know what happened. Maybe you should keep biking, huh? You don't know what happened. This isn't his block. This is ours. Do I have to stand up for everybody around here? You're a demon. Yeah, get out of here.
You want to file a report?
If they come here, I will. He's on camera. I can end the Instagram stream anyways and start a new one. I don't gotta leave. This is a free country. Yeah. I mean, I got hit on the back with the belt that he took off, but I mean, I'm pretty protected. He went down this way and to the right. He's got a bike. I got him on camera.
About how long ago?
10 minutes.
Oh, it's been 10 minutes?
No, I'm sorry. It's been 5 minutes.
It's been 5 minutes. And he kind of hung around here and was laughing, circling, and then he took off, just here. And you can just tell him they're there. And he was actually at the CVS, just like chilling for a while, and then he just bursted out of nowhere and just started attacking.
Like by the Target there, yeah. I have it on camera too if you guys want.
Sure.
Identification. Yeah, I'm going to end this.
Hi, I'm James Laffer and you're watching the Impossible channel. Welcome aboard. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel with notifications on for more videos like this. Just so you have an idea, 6,000 sightings were reported in 2020 alone. That's a lot of sightings, so there must be loads of strange things going on, right? Well, there are. Today we're going to be taking a look at unexplained and mysterious sightings that were recorded on camera. Are you ready? Let's go. From mystical stones to fairy tale-like castles and creatures, Scotland is a place full of mysteries. And I guess that one of the most intriguing sightings that ever occurred and to this day remains a mystery is the Loch Ness Monster. It all started on May 1933 when a local couple claimed they had seen an enormous animal rolling and plunging on the surface of the Loch Ness. The story then became a media phenomenon, and from then on, many people claimed they have seen or photographed this mysterious creature. In 1975, an expedition combining a sonar and underwater photography was done, and they actually took a picture of what they believed to be an unknown aquatic animal.
How you doing, guys?
There were many other expeditions with sonar and underwater equipment to prove the existence of this monster, and some of them believed to have captured something strange. Now, to this day, there are those who believe that this story is a complete hoax, and others who believe it is real. On October 5th, 2021, Richard from Richard Outdoors YouTube channel was in Scotland raising money for the Alzheimer's Society. He was located 62 miles from Fort Williams to Inverness, and they were camping in the region. Everything seemed to be going smooth, and they were not looking for any sort of monster or creature. They were just having fun. When this happened.
Fort Augustus, we got Loch Ness ahead for a couple of long paddle days. We'll see what we can do today, and I think finding camping spots is going to be one of the more difficult things, so we're just going to paddle until we see somewhere suitable. But
Richard and his friends paddled to the Loch Ness and found a good camping spot. Then they decided to use a drone to capture some footage. This is what they captured on camera. Flying by the camping area with his drone, Richard apparently captured an unidentified creature, a huge, unknown creature that actually looks like what some believe to be the Loch Ness Monster. The video went instantly viral and it became a discussion. Is this the Loch Ness Monster or is it something else? Keep in mind that Richard Outdoors YouTube channel is focused on camping, fishing, and outdoor activity. This is the only video found on his channel that features such a phenomenon. In other words, this might be the real deal, but I'm not too sure. What is your take? Now, I don't know about you, but one of my favorite things to do at night is observe the stars, the moon, the sky in general. To me is a complete mystery. And to be honest, most of the times, nothing special happens. At most, I'll see a comet or a meteor and that's it. But things were a bit different for a group of friends located in Montenegro when they suddenly started noticing something strange in the sky. The entire town was lit up by this mysterious pulsating light that was captured on camera and published on Sasquatch Instagram page. They published with the following description: I got amazing footage from Montenegro this night. What is happening? Is this an extremely rare phenomenon or something else? Now there were other videos that were recorded of this event. Take a look. Now some say that this could be a red sprite or something like that. Now, red sprites are large-scale electric discharges that occur high above thunderstorm clouds at about 50 miles above in the mesosphere. Now, the thing about this colorful phenomena is that they're extremely tricky to capture on camera. The flashes last just lengths of a second and can be very hard to see with the naked eye. So this just might be something else. In your opinion, what is going on here, and have you ever seen anything like this? When it comes to strange and unexplained sightings, there are many of them happening all over. Just so you have an idea, in 2018 alone, 3,400 sightings were reported in the United States of America. Surprisingly, in 2020, this number jumped to 6,000 sightings. Now remember that this is just in the United States of America. If you consider that these kind of events are happening all over, the number is way higher. And it was no different in Colombia a couple of months ago when Jose Alberto Garcia Ramirez captured something truly bizarre on camera in the city of Versalles. Check this out.
Ay, borra, está cayendo frío. Uy, marica, el Señor bendiga a esa gente que vaya al río. Ojalá no les va a pasar nada. Uy, bendito Dios, paz. Ay, borra, está cayendo algo. ¿Qué es eso, peor? Para un avión. Venga, 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 corra. Eso es un avión, papi, eso es un avión. Será, huevo. Mira, amor, ve, ¿qué es eso? Claro, marica. ¿Qué es eso? ¿Un globo? Pero no, porque ahorita sonaba como un avión.
Jose and part of the neighborhood were baffled by what they were seeing. At first, they thought that this could be some sort of airplane. It was when all of a sudden it simply disappeared out of thin air. They finally figured that it couldn't be an airplane, it was something else. Now, some believe that this could be some sort of military flare. However, it is not common in this region. Not only that, flares usually burn in a bright red color, which is not the case. Others think that this could be some sort of meteor or maybe an object that entered the atmosphere and for some reason it lit up for a few minutes and then disappeared. In your opinion, what is going on here? Now, I don't know about you, but nowadays many people install Ring cameras, security cameras in their homes and offices for peace of mind. For instance, if you go traveling or if you go out of town for a while, it's good to have access to what's going on around it, even if you live in a safe area. Atalia Nessavilla lives in Maranhão, Brazil, and she has a bar where she installed CCTV cameras for security reasons. One late night, her and her friends were closing the bar down when she noticed a motorcycle approaching. Check this video out. In the video, you can see two transparent humanoid figures crossing the road. They actually notice it and start to panic. Atalia then shows us the same moment from a different perspective and a different camera. We can see a motorbike, and the moment it stops, something spawns from it. Apparently a bicycle or another motorbike with two people on it. What's even creepier about this video is that they noticed something that they couldn't understand and they panicked. I've watched the CCTV video over and over and I can't seem to figure out exactly where this bicycle is coming from. It apparently appears out of nowhere the moment the motorbike stops. And what makes it all even more unexplained is the fact that we have, from another angle, two transparent dark humanoid figures crossing the road. Which could mean that Atalia captured some sort of evidence of the paranormal, or even maybe what some believe to be a glitch in the Matrix, as if we are living in some sort of simulation. Now, I'm not too sure exactly what's going on here. You tell me what you think. Now, what's curious is that hundreds of years ago, sightings of strange creatures and mysterious lights in the sky happened, but we would rely on paintings and people telling their stories. Nowadays, because of technology, we rely on photographs, videos, and now we have drones. Just so you have an idea, in 2021 alone, there were 800,000 drones registered in the United States. That's a lot of drones recording everything around them. In Tennessee, a person was doing a flyover in an unknown location.
Hey,
and
Shiloh.
this was captured on camera.
Okay, you back to work then, Amanda. Alright. Get them walls done. Hey, World, what's up?
In the video, we can see what appears to be a tree being cut. However, if you watch the video closely, it's not being cut. It's being ripped off by something huge. And in just a couple of seconds, the tree is going to be thrown from one side to the other and then carried on to some other place.
What?
If you observe closely,
What?
this can't be a group of people or any
That's
known
bizarre.
machine. The tree is being ripped off in a very organic manner, and it all happens too quick, which suggests this has to be some sort of huge creature.
Could be a sinkhole, right?
If you
Could it be a
observe closely in this exact moment, the
You've seen
tree
those-
is being carried
No.
away like it's some sort of stick. I have to say, I've never seen anything like this, and it also caught the attention of whoever was filming with the drone. Now, looking for strange structures in the woods, I found many videos pertaining Bigfoot. This is one of them. A hunter finds a spot in the woods where things just don't look right. I don't see a human being doing something like this. It has to be something else. But what?
Right here on the trail, twisted off, number 1. Right here, number 2, we can see a bunch of stuff that's kind of pushed down. Actually, right there is a big stack of stuff all leaning against a tree. Why? I don't know.
Harry Reid, unfrequented YouTube channel, captured something similar that other hunters have been capturing all over the woods.
And look at this pile of sticks. I'm gonna get closer to show you guys. I could see it with my headlamp.
Whoa.
Oh, look at this.
That's cool.
Like, I see this stuff on my property all the time. Behind. Right there, that's broken. This one's broken off. And then we've got sticks, like, going through it.
In your opinion, what is going on here? Could this actually be Bigfoot or maybe something else? Now, if there's one beautiful place with unexplained and strange sightings, that's India. On June 2020, a meteor-like object fell from the sky and left locals baffled by it. The next day, locals in Jalore actually found the supposed meteor. This is what was captured on camera. They were trying to dig the object out, however it seems like it's still too hot. Eventually, they ended up finding this bizarre looking rock that supposedly fell from the sky. Exactly 1 year later, a very strange sighting was reported in Gujarat and many other cities in western India.
Hold on.
Later, a very strange sighting and many other cities. This is what happened.
Come too far? That looks like polished glass, doesn't it? Have you anyone seen polished glass? Like glass found on the beach or something? It's got that polished sort of effect to it. Well, that's what it looks like to me. You get green, didn't you? Black and all
this
different
bizarre
colours.
looking rock that supposedly fell from the sky. Exactly 1 year later, a very strange sighting was reported in Gujarat and many other cities in western India. This is what happened.
Drone आया क्या फिर
Locals were baffled by multiple fiery balls that started appearing in the sky out of nowhere. This happened in different cities in Gujarat. Experts believe that this could be some sort of satellite. However, if you compare, it doesn't look like Starlink or anything like that. In your opinion, why are so many of these strange sightings happening lately? Like for instance this one in Jackson, Mississippi, captured by T. Wingfields.
It doesn't look like it's shining from anything is the thing. Like there's nothing on the ground. Like we're almost right below it now. I don't know. It's so crazy.
It does look weird. I'm definitely confused on the
Like, I have no possible explanation for this whatsoever. Even traffic said there was a delay. I think this is the delay. What in the heck?
T. Wingfield and her family are baffled by what they are seeing. They can't seem to explain it, and neither can I. Apparently, a source of light coming from behind the clouds is shining just above them, and there is a certain moment they actually go directly below it, and there's no source of light that could be causing this from the ground. So, what exactly is going on here?
They're still awake. That looks like a UFO.
Now just imagine the following situation. It's 2:30 in the morning, you're sleeping at your house, you have to wake up early in the next day, when all of a sudden you hear a streaking and loud sound that comes from outside, apparently the sky. The thing is, the sound doesn't stop, and you can't go back to sleep. So what you do is you go outside to check it out. This is sort of what happened with David Manny, one of our subscribers, and this happened in Hacienda Heights in California. Check this out.
What the hell is that sound? It's coming from the northeast. It's 2:37 in the morning. It's fading out now.
David says he woke up, this sound was going on and on. He says it lasted for about 20 minutes before he started recording it. Now this isn't the only video that portrays such a bizarre and unexplained sound. In Germany, something similar was captured on camera. Check this out.
A creepy kid just standing there.
Keine Ahnung, der Junge da unten guckt auch. Ich weiß es nicht. Was da was?
Such a phenomenon is coined a skyquake, and it's a loud booming sound that is reported to originate from the sky. To this day, no one knows exactly what causes it. Some say it might be industries, others say that it has to do with tectonic movement or earthquakes. However, it's still a mystery. What could it be, and have you ever heard it yourself? In certain cultures, the paranormal, ghosts, spirits, or the other side are believed and respected. The thing is, in some of these cultures, they try to contact the other side in hopes of talking to people they no longer can reach on this side. Now, even though this is sort of common in certain cultures, there is what they believe to be evil entities. In Colombia, a family was having trouble sleeping in their home when all of a sudden one day they started hearing noises coming from one of the rooms. One of the sons tells the father to go check it out. He just doesn't want to go in there, he feels a dark presence. This is what happened.
Está la cama de mi mamá. Está la cama de mi mamá. Está la cama de mi mamá. Está que lo dejan grabar. ¿Dónde hay algo? Uy, no, sea serio, no pongan a jugar así que lo asustan a uno. Pero quietos, no me... No, venga, quieto.
The two boys seem troubled by something and they tell their father, "There's something in my room." He takes it seriously, thinking it's maybe a burglar or something like that, and he tells the boys to stay there while he checks it out. This is what he saw.
No, venga, quieto. No me empuje, sea serio, vaya usted, quieto. Mire, si no hay nada, son bien mentirosos, de ahí no hay nada, son bien... ¡Ay, güey! ¿Qué es eso, marica, corra? ¡No! ¡Abra la puerta!
It seems the father captures what appears to be a shadow person, a well-known entity, an evil one. Now, by their reaction, I believe this video could be real, and it's a very rare thing to capture one of these entities on camera. In your opinion, is this the real deal or not? And have you ever seen such an entity? Well, this is it for today, but we do have more videos. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel with notifications on. I have an Instagram account, don't forget to follow me, and I have a new channel also. I will be uploading more videos frequently, like you guys are asking me to, so yeah, stay tuned. See you guys again.
Tomo, stop being a dick. A man is okay. Jim Panda. I might check it out.
People are trapped in this idea that, you know, these things that mathematically describe things like astronomy and navigation and surveying, that all leads to Spaceballs and, you know, all the stuff that they're trying to sell us with their science fiction. People need to really get back to looking at the physical geometry, the physical sciences, the ones of construction, of engineering, of all these things that are part of our lived life, and to absolutely cut through that bullshit. I'm not saying mathematics is a bad thing, as long as it is modelled on reality. And not on the metaphysical nonsense of some guy who's trying to be relevant.
As long as it is modelled on reality.
We could play with variations, we can change the temperature of the water. You know, it's not going to change the structure of the water and its physical characteristics and behaviours. We could put it in different conditions, we could elevate it, it's still going to be the same. Only practical demonstration will do observable phenomena. Taking photographs and making assumptions and assertions, that's just not going to pass. Because as far as it stands right now, the substance is telling us where we are, the possibilities of where we are and what's impossible about claims that have been made about where we are. So I go with that. I don't go with fluffy, you know, cherry-picked bias like the woke cult zealots.
It's all right to argue from facts like level water against a hypothesis, but it's not real science to come with a hypothesis and argue against the facts.
Putting to bed the absurd, silly notions and claims that we exist as a pressurised gassy environment, adjacent to a medium that is a vacuum without any solid separation. Absolutely absurd. I will show that through practical demonstration again.
There's no excuse for us to be circling round in debates about that nonsense, right? For me, it's just a slam dunk.
For me, it's just a slam dunk.
Look at water, which takes up 70% of the earth. You're 70% made of water. Water is everywhere.
As long as it is modelled on reality.
It can't be denied. It's used in all these fields to dilute, to make solvents, solutions. I mean, that's where we get the definitions of parallel and perpendicular and level and plumb, and we use planar concepts to do all these tasks, right? All these different fields of endeavour. I mean, they're massively developed technologies, what we use there, and they work. They are part of our lived life, and they're objective. Everybody knows that they're true. So water's an intricate part of the whole of what happens in our physical space, and all that stuff is real. In construction and manufacturing to move things around, right? To be able to operate machinery and lubricate and transport, and you know, all these things are so obvious. And when you go into mechanics and engineering, if you think about all the constructions of canals and dams, and you know.
And people can say conspiracy theory. This is an actual conspiracy because real science has shown you that what these people are professing and showing you on your TV screen is not reality. So they are snake oil salesmen. They are peddling a concept, an idea, which has a detrimental effect on people for various reasons. It's robbing you of a solid foundation, you know, a starting point for you to start reasoning with your own existence and build a structure about your own existence. So there's huge implications to this, and it is a real conspiracy. It's not just a theory, you know, this is not abstract what we're offering here. We're offering real world, tangible things that you can verify for yourself, or falsify. If you can falsify it, by all means, let's see that, you know? Again, everybody peer review this, check the substance yourself, let me know what you find. The only thing I'm going to listen to or pay any attention to is practical demonstration. Know a man's words and his smug attitude and his, you know, tendencies of delusion. That's just not going to interest me at all. And it should not interest anybody else either. It's as simple as that, just as Gab was saying. It doesn't need to be complicated. When we get too complicated, you know you're dealing with lies. So again, in comparison, you know, what we're going to get is people in the language saying, but my magical force is acting upon it. Can you demonstrate that? Can you show the new property that a liquid is adopting to make it behave in such an absurd, silly, childish manner? No, you can't.
The knowledge that you have from lived life, right through your common sense faculties that everybody shares, is more powerful than any sophistry or words or images that anybody will ever show you. There's no way they can come at you with contradictions to your known reality, then they are talking shite.
Today's scientists are substituting mathematics for experiments, and they wander off through equation after equation and eventually build a structure which is no relation to reality. What's happened here is you've got a graphics institution like NASA who produce these images, who depict the Earth in the way they depict it, and you have a whole swathe of generations of people, mathematicians, formulating abstract theories and equations to explain how that is possible, when the substance, you know, just totally refutes all the sophisticated bullshit in an instant. So the question then lies is, what do you go with? Do you go with the real tangible substances in your everyday reality? Or do you suspend that in favour of an image on a screen and then involve yourself in some mental gymnastics, contort your brain in order to believe in total absurdities?
I shudder to think how many times mathematics has reinvented itself over the years. With all the different, you know, periods of time where geometries were different, where they discovered all various things and like algebra and calculus and, you know, all these tools of mathematics, these instruments, if you like, that you can model things. The fact that's ever changing, but what's not changing is the way water behaves, or the fact that we use planar principles known for however long we've been in existence, right? That show us how to construct and build things and live life, right? So mathematics is constantly reinventing itself, even today. The physical reality doesn't. It's the same. When I open my eyes in the morning, it just doesn't go away, Dale, right?
This is an actual conspiracy, because real science is showing you that what these people are professing and showing you on your TV screen is not reality. So they are snake oil salesmen, they are peddling a concept, an idea, which has a detrimental effect on people for various reasons. It's robbing you of a solid foundation, you know, a starting point for you to start reasoning with your own existence and build a structure about your own existence. So there's huge implications to this, and it is a real conspiracy. It's not just a theory, you know, this is not abstract what we're offering here. We're offering real world, tangible things that you can verify for yourself. Or falsify. If you can falsify it, by all means, let's see that. You know?
That whole ball of wax down at the bottom is our reality, and everything at the top of the screen is more to do with concepts and images and ideas, and you know, making people have beliefs. And that equating visible space with physical space and not understanding the difference between the two of them is where everybody needs to wake up. And there's a whole, I don't know, there's so many fields of activities to explore in there to redefine what it is we think we know, Dale, right? I find it exciting, to be very honest. And if somebody's telling you stuff to do with modeling and mathematics, then you have to be extremely wary.
Well, the fundamental is you are the information processor. So what is there more fundamental than understanding that very machinery that you're using right now that you call your brain? That's where the problems lie. That's why sophistry and manipulation can take hold, because people are in ignorance. They don't understand the methods that are being used on them. They don't understand how they're being affected. They don't understand how they're deciphering information from their own bias, subjective, emotional point of view.
Look at water, which takes up 70% of the earth. You're 70% made of water.
For me, it's just a slam dunk.
Gas, its behaviour, what is required, what its relationship is in terms of vacuums, what a higher pressure's relationship is in relation to a low pressure system.
For me, it's just a slam dunk.
The actual physical behaviours of these things.
For me, it's just a slam dunk.
To a mathematician, infinity is simply a number without a limit. To a physicist, it's a monstrosity. It means that, first of all, gravity is infinite at the center of a black hole, that time stops, and what does that mean? Space makes no sense. It means the collapse of everything we know about the physical universe.
Taylor was like 2017. I don't care what Mark Taylor says, to be honest. I must say, Sandra, nice choice of music. I do like it. An old classic.
default position, the position for anybody, is that they experience the Earth as a level plane. That's what you're experiencing. The geometry that's assumed in pretty much every facet of practical living is that we exist on a plane. So what you have to understand first and foremost is that that's the default position. The claims that are coming towards people like myself or you, regardless of whether you bought into it from a young age and you were told and it was reaffirmed to you, these statements were made to you, images were presented to you, and that's by the by. I start from a default position, and so should you. I am the skeptic, I am the questioner of claims. I'm not here to push any fantasy on anybody. I have no religious connotations, no religious affiliations, no religious bias or political or any other motive other than establishing the objective truths. So the default position for anybody who is questioning this is that that's where you exist on a level plane. That's what you experience, that's the geometry that's assumed and applied in practical, everyday, lived life. Okay? In many trades, many practical applications. So, when you get people new coming and trying to present images on a screen, telling you that there's physical behaviours and physical attributes and this earth is indeed curved and it's a oblate spheroid and yada yada yada, these people have the burden. So what you have to do is you have to look at that, what the burden of proof actually means, and then you have to address what they are claiming and professing to you as being science and scientific. Because I can tell you quite clearly that the globular Earth model is nothing scientific about it. There is a science to it, but when we're talking about scientific, i.e. exploration of objective reality, we are required to produce practical references. So when I'm talking about scientific, aspects of this question, that's what we're looking for. As I've stated many times before, it exists only as a concept, two-dimensionally on paper, represented by an apparent three-dimensional image through your screen. That is not a scientific inquiry, it is not in the grounds of proper exploration science. Proper exploration, as I said before, requires demonstrations of substance, not linguistically based, rhetorical gibberish. That's exactly what the globe model will offer you. The science that it incorporates is the science of sophistry. That being trying to intimidate the swee, gullible, weak-minded individuals who don't have proper discernment into adopting a belief and representing and standing by that belief. That's a cult, that's a religion, I am not interested in any of it. You want to make a claim to me as an individual, a man who starts from the default position. You are duty bound to provide me with substance. If you cannot provide me with that, that's not my fault. You can attack the man, you can slander me, you can focus on anything else you want to focus on. I am here with the focus and the intent of establishing the objective facts. Purely and simply. Unemotional, not about persons or any of these things. What's your claim? Substantiate it by way of practical reference. End of story. Anything else added on top of that is propaganda, manipulation tactics, sophistry, bollocks. The globular Earth model cannot produce anything to substantiate any of its claims. That is why I refuse it. It is an absurdity. Okay? It tries to twist physics, real exploration, science, bastardise it into some religious, fantastical hogwash. People can ask all sorts of questions. Why? Oh, it's a big conspiracy, everybody has to be in on it. These are all deflection tactics. These are all tactics of weak-minded people who don't want to take a look at it, who are maybe lazy. Again, I'm not interested in any of the fallacious logic or reasoning that comes my direction. I have made it clear and simple. I do not represent any cartoon, straw man, map or model. My experiences are level Earth. The substances, particularly water, tell me beyond any shadow of a doubt I do not exist on the exterior of an oblate spheroid. It's a level plane. The geometry that's assumed and applied in practical daily lived life is a level plane. These are the facts. The heliocentric globe model has to twist the facts by using language. And that's what it's based on. It is a cult, it is a religion, and it utilises religious cult-type tactics. So remember, I am the questioner. You come to me, you want me to adopt beliefs and throw away my natural constitution, my common sense abilities, in favour of absurdities. You are the one that's going to have to produce something amazing for me. That's the default position.
Let's end it out with Jibby, yeah? Alright, let's go.
Didn't actually concede the point, though.
He didn't, but I think I got him because this was undeniable. This was absolutely undeniable. It's going to be in compilations that I'll be doing of NASA fakery, of space fakery, and this is a big one. And it's just a matter of tilting it 90 degrees. And now all the cloud patterns match up, which is proof of altered mirroring of different. They just add layers and then point, click, add your rocket, change the color of the rocket. And that's all it is. It's software. It's software. And I did that NASA debate with Charles where he jumped off the panel because.
Was it SpaceX or NASA? Because it tends to be SpaceX that cheap out and do like reuse old footage and old layers and CGI and things like that. NASA tend to be because they've got the budget to. Was that NASA?
SpaceX.
Yeah, I thought so. SpaceX do tend to do. They seem to be a bit more rough around the edges than NASA in places.
And landing a pencil rocket, dropping with waffle irons. That's clearly logical.
This is in the realms of magic tricks, isn't it? Because I know Jaron does a lot of videos on SpaceX, and they're look at this hand. It's basically a magic trick, and when they have the thing land. In most footage, I'm sure there's been an instance now where they've done a slightly better job, but they just cut away. They literally have a.
I'm playing this because Jibby's on there.
Then the rocket's landed. You're like, this is an absolute joke.
And he's just a bit of respect paid out to Jibby because he passed away today. Scotty doesn't know.
This is going to get me flack, but it does kind of seem a bit pathetic when it is that obvious, because it is obvious. It's just a magic trick.
I know, and then I tell myself, what's the catch? Because it is so obvious. What's the catch? Is this bait? Is this bait to get us all going, it's fake, it's fake? Like, are we falling for their trap? Because to anybody non-fluoridated brain-wise, it's pretty obvious. I mean, it really is. And it's like they drop the dummy down, and then they shut the lights off, turn the lights on, and then there's the person standing there. Ta-da! I mean, it's the magic trick.
You said earlier that
the physics of it don't make any sense. It doesn't. And the flame that comes out of the rocket looks like butane. It's like a flame. It's like a literal, like this. where it should be rocket propellant. You know, those lighters that have like the torch. Well, this is what you see like at the bottom of the rocket coming down. Does this make any sense? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. That's not going to stop descent. That's just me and a bunch of us. We're all on that page, but...
Well, maybe we should say
like
it in more broad terms. For I occasionally have to be conscious of the fact that there might be people who come to this video who haven't got the slightest clue what we're talking about and will leave a comment 6 months from now that says, obviously the Earth's a globe. What are you talking about? And so if we put it in broad terms, space is fake. You know, what they present to us as infinite soups of nothingness is complete horseshit. You know, we have no idea what's above up, you know, and there's probably not very much of up anyway from what we can ascertain. You know, we can't go very high. So their representations of the heavens are, maybe I shouldn't say this, but they're no more realistic than the biblical representations of the heavens. You know, if you were to put it in cartoon form, there you go, that's soften the blow a little bit. You know, if you've got Monty Python's pictures of clouds parting with God sitting on top of it, you know, that's as valid as NASA and their presentations of what space is. You know, all they essentially are doing is having a look and then telling us what it is. They arbitrarily assign values to things in terms of weights and sizes, and they've got their backstories and their giant balls to explain why. But ultimately speaking, it's just another belief system. You have to take what they say on faith when it comes to space, because none of us are going. None of us are going and verifying what they tell us. So ultimately speaking, we have to take it on faith. And all the education system does, as you so eloquently put earlier, is get people to parrot what they say is the truth. Now, just saying something's true doesn't make it true, unfortunately, for NASA. And it doesn't matter how many bullshit presentations you put in front of somebody who already knows the magic trick.
Hello,
and
Sasha.
That's the bottom line
Welcome.
here. Once you know the magic trick, once you understand how they've faked space, you can't unsee it anymore. You know, this was going to lead me on to my question, which is, how do you view the globe? Is it something that you would say, well, maybe, you know, maybe they'll go up and take a decent picture, or is it dead to you?
It's completely dead. It's actually mostly decayed at this point. There's no chance of bringing it back. It's beyond. I'm in it for good. And Boston Globe reporter was telling that to Mark Sargent. He was kind of referring to me, but not by name. He's like, one of the guys in the Boston group I've been kind of focusing on. You know, he says like he kind of wishes he didn't fall into this because now he feels obligated, and it's true, because that's what I told him. I said, I feel like I'm obligated here, and I'll do whatever I have to do because it's kind of like A plus B equals C now. I have this information, and I've been spending 20-something years of my life studying what the adults are doing at the adult table versus the kids at the kids table, which is where we're at. And I want to know adults speak, and I want to know what they're talking about, and I want to know what's really going on. So I've always looked into it. I've been fighting NASA for over 20 years, mostly on the moon and Mars. Those two, the physics just were preposterous, and I've been fighting that. But Flat Earth brought me into a whole new level of NASA fakery. Like the ISS is now fake. Satellites are fake. Like there's no asteroids. None of those things are real anymore. So it just broadened my horizons, and now I see it. Now I see
keep
it
going,
all.
keep going. The list goes on. Planets, exoplanets, the Kuiper Belt, the Oort cloud. What else we got? You know, you can't deny certain things though because you can actually physically witness them. So orbital mechanics, ka-ching, nice little tick. We can witness those things. But to say that that's a rock going around a gas body or another rock, nah, sorry. Unless you actually go and check, I'm not buying it. You know, you can give me all the different light frequencies you like. Couldn't care less. You're not checking. You're not verifying. You're just looking. Just having a little look and then telling us what it is. No, just don't accept that anymore. Can't do it. You know, you've got to give me something better. And they're never going to come up with anything juicy. We know how badly misrepresented it has been. And if there was any shred of truth in it, they'd have decent proof. You know, they'd have something to convince us. You know, we'd be easy to convince. And we say it all the time. We throw it off, you know, just give us the proof. You know, we'll throw their budget back in their face, the 52 million a day that they spend. You know, for that, get us some decent shots. Get us some really top quality high altitude shots. Don't just tell us that they're high altitude. And you go, what are the odds? You go really high on the ISS, and it is pretty high. And they're always using what looks like a zoom lens to take pictures of the ground. It's like, this is silly. And then when you actually get the 24-hour feeds that are like a fairly wide shot, it's so preposterous, it's so blatantly CGI'd together, you know, it's so fake. And again, for most people, they can't see the magic trick because they've never seen that point of view. They've got no reference point. We use that as our strongest argument. Well, we can't go, we can't check, we can't verify. We don't have that vantage point. And they use it as their layer of cognitive dissonance for most people. You know, this is how it is. We can show you. This is what it looks like. And for any guy who just goes, well, I've got a mental construct of a globe, and there's a picture of it. What's to question? You know, for your average Joe, he couldn't care less. Even if you tell him that it's fake, they'll say something like, oh, what difference does it make? Does it really matter if it's flat or not? Yeah, it does matter. You know, we're being deceived on a huge level. So yeah, it's pretty important.
Yeah, and I think for those people, like, they're just seeing their immediate surroundings. Like, what do I have to do tonight? What do I have to do tomorrow? What do I have to do next week? How is the shape of the Earth going to make any difference in that? So they're only seeing their immediate kind of surroundings and not so much the bigger aspect of it and what it implies into their lives, right down to the daily level, what it implies and how they should now rearrange everything. Like, let's say if your routine is watching 6 hours of television with your kids every day. Well, now if you know the Earth is flat, then you've been lied to on such a scale, and it's perpetuated by this TV. And now, is the TV your friend or your enemy? And now, can you trust their advice? And now, can you trust what they recommend to eat on their commercials? And all. So what it implies is such a big thing that you can't just hear it and then 30 seconds later come out with a very thoroughly well thought out response. Like, well, what difference does it make in my life? Well, that's somebody who said that hasn't really sat back and pondered it for a few days and just let your mind start dominoes of what that implies and how that implies to all the levels below and below that and below that and below that, and what this all trickles down to and what it really means. And they're just kind of like, that's just a quick impulsive response, I think. And we come down hard on them. We really do. Like, oh, you're such an idiot. How can you say such a thing? But we need to be a little bit more understanding, I think. And I need to take that advice myself, because I come harsh on people like that too, because it's so frustrating. It's like, what do you mean? Like, it's, you know, like, this is the biggest thing. Like, this affects everything.
Well, for most people, they will see what's on TV and they will trust it. And once you appreciate that the scale of lies goes to the point that they will lie to you about the very ground beneath your feet, suddenly you're less inclined to believe them when they show you some false flag or some hoax or some government-paid piece of propaganda which has been pre-filmed, pre-packaged, preordained to happen in the first instance. You know, you're going to question that. But as it stands, most people are like, yeah, that's what the TV said. The news said it's so, so it's so. And that's a massive form of control, especially when you have, you know, invasions. And I can hear myself cringe as I say these things, because we're buying into things that, again, we don't necessarily verify ourselves.
Hey, afternoon, Stephen. Welcome to.
But you don't know how far it goes in terms of what they say is important in life. You know, money, is it really that important? But it's one of the control structures that surround us. I've got people in the, you know, chat saying 52 million, it's tip of the iceberg. And you're going, well, yeah, you're right, if you quantify it in those terms. But if you quantify it, that's how big the scale of deception can be. Literally, your very reality has been lied about. Then you can start to appreciate the, let's not call them less important lies, but the other lies that we are surrounded by daily. You know, we are continually lied to about everything. You know, 99% of what we see is deception. It's amazing to be able to just say that without stuttering, but it's true.
Yep. Before Flat Earth, I was fighting the vaccine fight, fighting the fluoride fight, fighting all those tangible, provable, peer-reviewed fight. Like there's videos from the 50s where scientists were saying, look what the sodium fluoride molecule does to the cells. Look what it does to the neurons here. I find no beneficial evidence whatsoever for sodium fluoride, and that is what the recommendations that I recommend to the council. And this is from like 67 years ago. I just put it in anyway, and you can see what it's doing to the cells and all the studies and all the whistleblowers. And the whistleblowers are located on YouTube. Oh, YouTube. So YouTube is heavily demonized. But like Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole says, what's not on YouTube? Everything's on YouTube. Your local news that night will be on YouTube that night or the next day. Like, so the same things are on YouTube that are on your TV. But why, why is when the argument against you, now you demonize the medium, but when it's for you, you praise the medium, It's all subjective bias. It's confirmation bias, subjective bias. So YouTube has such great information. You want to install new Windows as a how-to, DIY for everything. You want to change parts of your car. YouTube is a very effective medium for learning. It really is. In all aspects, even astronomy. Amateur astronomers, I can't afford a $10,000 telescope, but the people with them post online on YouTube. They post their $10,000 telescope views of the planets there. It's awesome. So now I can vicariously enjoy them to those people who can't afford them. It's a great tool. And the whistleblowers are all over YouTube. The doctors who lost their license practice, whistleblowing about the vaccines and all the corruption in the pharmaceutical companies. People won't spend that time because I don't think they care enough. And I think it comes down to caring about yourself, because if you don't care about yourself, how can you care about anyone else? In my opinion.
While we've just got on the subject, can you make I know I watch Crow 777 and Take Back Space for really high def space footage, and in my experience, I mean, my telescope isn't fantastic, but it's better than most people can just look up and see. Far better. But by comparison to what I can see with my scope, I would literally say that some of these streams are superior. They have better resolution than I can get with my telescope with the naked eye. Just incredible, to see. Have you got any recommendations? So I'll rattle them off mine again. So Crow, CROW 777, and Take Back Space. I think he's now called Take Back Space TV. Christy is the host of that one. But did you have any others that you can recommend? Oh, I think Jibby's dropped and come back in when he gets his mic back off mute. And repeat the question once he's there. Shout outs to the chat while he's rejoining. I think he's having a few technical issues.
No.
Short and sweet.
No, they're all junk. Is my camera working? I can do an F5.
Nah, not at the moment.
Camera.
Maybe flick it on and flick it off again.
Yeah, let me try that. There we go. All right.
There you go. That's looking beautiful.
No, all the live streams are bunk. They're. I used to fall asleep to the ISS stream. Just
no, I didn't mean those space. No, sorry. Of course, because you must have dropped halfway through what I was saying. So I was saying people like Crow 777 and Take Back Space TV have got, as the name suggests, they're taking, with Chris D's channel, taking back space and showing it for what it really is. Just showing it. And I was saying that's, for my eyes, better than what I can get through my telescope, with lenses. Amazing, some of the equipment that they've got. But do you have any recommendations for reality-based space channels?
I've lost track of them, and a lot of them, they just kind of, they get all the planets, they put them up, and that's it. They don't really do much more. They might come around for celestial events, Perseids, meteor showers, and things like that. But they'll usually put the name of their telescope in the title, and you can look up that telescope just for Google and click shopping, so you can get a price range of it. And some of them you'll see well into the thousands. and those people have equatorial mounts and whatnot, and they'll give you, you know, a view of the celestial bodies in a way that you'll never be able to afford to see them. And I've looked through $10,000, $15,000 scopes. So what they're showing you is true, is what you'll see through those scopes. So they're not doctoring it or whatever, but they're never showing you anything remotely close to the space agencies with terra firma, definitive ground anything. It just looks like they all look like ball of gases to me.
I'm just gonna clarify again, just for that guy, that one person or woman that's watching this that doesn't follow. So what we're now talking about is when you look through your telescope, you'll see points of light in the sky. Some of them have got rings around them. You know, some of them have got various other things that travel around them. However, what NASA present to us is glorious artwork of distant worlds, and they have all sorts of descriptions about gas and the masses, and you know, you can imagine what I'm talking about just by describing it. I'm not going to bring up any images, but these aren't what you see through a telescope. Au contraire, it's not at all what we see through a telescope. Now, they will claim that they have got these from you know, ships that are traveling to far away places that we could never reach, but ultimately this is the contrast that I'm trying to explain to the audience, that you're not necessarily just talking about what's coming out of that lens of a telescope and click, that's your image of Saturn. You know, we're talking about the bullshit that they provide you in their artwork and their CGI, correct?
Yep. It is photoshopped, but
because it has to be.
It has to be. Yeah. And never did I see confirmation of a terra firma. And in fact, the only thing that I can say even remotely seems spherical is Saturn, and that's just because of the ring and because of the way the shadow is cast upon the ring. In the helio model, with the way that Saturn is towards the sun and the way the ring wraps around Saturn, with the light being cast on it, casts a shadow on the ring. I've seen the shadow on the ring. I'm like, wow, you know, I can't really argue against that, because it does have the appearance of, unless it's a flat circle with a ring around it, which I've never heard of such a thing, but we don't know. But it does appear spherical. The rest, I don't know. They're just circles to me. They're circles of gas, it looks like. I don't see solidity. I see gas. Well, it looks like a gas, just a ball of gas. And they do call the giant planets gas giants. So coincidentally, they do appear to just look like balls of gas. And Venus and whatnot, I can't get a resolution tight enough to see anything other than yellow, basically, just yellow. Maybe I'm looking at clouds, I don't know. But it's so hard because they're so bright. Now you have to adjust your contrast. You have to adjust the lighting just right to be able to absorb all that light and then shade it down a bit. And there's a little bit of a hack you can do with the P900 where you shine a flashlight in the lens and you lock in the new contrast. And now it's not just like a blur. And people could do that with the stars, because that'll improve their sharpening of the stars as well. And I've zoomed in on some stars, and no matter how much I sit there and I play with each delicate turn of the manual focus, you can only focus in so much, because it's like you're trying to focus in on balls of dancing plasma reflected off something. So there's only so much sharpness and resolution you can get with it. But if you're looking at a ball of any type, you're not sharpened in enough. You're not focused enough, because it shouldn't look like a ball. It should look like dancing plasma. It should look weird. And there's people who have hit pauses, and you see that this is what the stars look like. And that is what they look like. And each one looks different. Some are red, some are blue. Some dance weird, some dance differently. Some look like they have a shape to it. It's so bizarre. And there's a guy named John Leonard Walson who's been putting stuff out, I want to say since 2008, 2009, maybe sooner. He has this technique. He hooks a camera up to his computer, and now he resolves the stars a little better, and they look like, I don't know, they look like ghostly transformers or giant ships that morph and transform. And somebody said, somebody says a lot of things, but somebody said that they were fake, but He'll show you. Here's my camera hooked into the laptop, and you'll see it on the laptop, and he'll go to the LCD on the camera, and there's that thing on the camera pointed up. So if he's faking it, he's doing a great job. And it's very convincing, and I've seen for myself that some of the stars up there are fakers. They're not real stars. They just park. And then you're watching them move with a constellation over time, and then these things will just move. They'll just take off on their own. But they were parked, and then they just start moving. And a lot of people who stare at the sky have seen these things, and we don't know what they are. They could be ships. We don't know. We don't know what they are. Drones, maybe. I don't know.
This isn't far-fetched. This is something that if you got low enough light.
Right, guys, I'll stop it there. Last 15 minutes, guys. Condolences go out to close friends of Jibby and his family. That's from the channel, and it's a sad day. It's going to be sorely missed. Right, where was we? Welcome back, Amanda. Yes, Red. We need some uplifting tracks, man. hilarious, man. Big shout out to chatters today. Do appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Cheers, Red. Cheers, Chill. Mr. Watson, Steve Watson in the house. And let's go through. Andrew, thank you, Duke. Amanda. Tony Dixon. Cheers, Duke. Sasha, I gave you a wrench. So you're welcome back. Otter. Slow. Summer. Road Without Curve. Oh, Graham popped in. Graham. Vertex. Kyle. Chris Hayes. Room. Something. Cheers, Pete. Jack Streaming popped in earlier. And anyone I've forgotten, I do apologise. Been working, Chill. Chill did Ibiza 6 times. Damn. Okie dokie. Alright, Block. I'm just closing it now, mate. I will see you guys Thursday. Have a great day. Till then, take care.